Peter. Nice to meet you too. Thank you. Please drive safely. Safe travels.
That's why I say really great work. I hope we get for sure.
Thank you.
Welcome, everyone. Welcome, and thank you very, very much. Thank you for staying for that talk back. The Southeastern Minnesota Arts Council really does look for actual audience feedback, host feedback, feedback from the artists, and so what we'd like to do is, oftentimes in a talk back, you ask us questions. Well, it's raw. We're going to ask you questions too. And I would like to start. Anybody is welcome here. I would like to start by asking a question that I asked every day of the artists. And a couple had to leave because they're actually, Hillary and Paola are actually driving back to Chicago tonight. Oh. Hillary has been accepted to the school at Steppenwolf. Tomorrow morning, and Paola teaches, and Pete, Hillary's fiance, has work to go to as a lawyer for the city of Chicago. So we are here, and the question that I asked every single day, which I'd like you just to take a moment before you answer it, because I want you to answer it with an actual emotion, which is, how do you feel after and because of this show?
Relieved.
Exhausted. Although that's a physical thing, so I'm
Yeah.
going to go back to emotional, so someone else may speak. Yeah.
They're energized.
Energized. Woo. Great. Thank you, Betsy. Brent.
At peace.
At peace. Thank you.
Can I go to physical?
Yes, you
My
may.
jaw aches from laughing.
Jaw.
I hear that a lot.
Laughing. That's great. And smiling, I suppose, too. Yeah. Oh, thank you. Thank you.
Inspired.
Inspired. Great, thank you. Go ahead, Elizabeth. Cathartic. Okay. You cathartic. Cathartic.
You don't even have to apologize.
Frank.
My lumbago goes away. I think it's from endorphins.
Lumbago. It's really, yeah, potato.
It's all wrong.
Yeah, great. The endorphins make create physical relief for you. Beautiful. Anyone else? Pumped. Ayla's pumped. Anne's inspired and Ayla's pumped. That's gonna be a fun house tonight. Great. Artists? Any other artists wanna?
Energized. I'm with you. Yeah.
Sweaty.
And back to the physical.
Right. I had balance now.
Yeah, you had balance. Yeah. Yes.
Mark for the course.
Right? Yeah, part of the course.
Yeah. Art. Oh,
Brave.
great.
You feel brave.
And Peggy, let's make that a jumping off point. You feel brave because of this work. Is that clear?
Yeah, it's a kind of an inspiration, but you have to kind of let go to do what you're doing, and that requires a certain kind of bravery to just
Nice. Thank you. So do you feel by like osmosis, the bravery that was expressed here, you take that on?
It's like a good example.
It's a good example.
It's a good example. If these people can do this, then what could I do?
Nice.
Great. Let's repeat that loud and proud. If we can do it, you can do it.
Yeah.
Or if we could do this, what could you do?
what are you're saying you have a break to do it?
Take risks.
Yes.
Because that's what this is all about. Just taking
Absolutely.
risks.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, I piggyback that when Lewis told me he was coming and doing this, I was already uncomfortable and nervous because from the artist's outlook, usually there's a script and there's written down what I'm to do. So when he said that this was happening, I was uncomfortable for him. Coming into the space tonight, I was uncomfortable because it was an unknown experience for me. And then as you were doing it, I was inspiredly uncomfortable because knowing that you whipped this up in the timeline that you did, what she's saying, brave, now I feel inspired to, okay, this, I experienced, witnessed this can be a thing, and I can take that where I go.
Beautiful. Yes, it can be a thing, and I do hope that you take it with you. Ben.
Thank you.
I'm feeling curious, because once you see this and you get inspired, you think, what could we do? What is possible? What can come next?
Nice. Yes.
Is it possible that you could, in the future, offer the chance for some of the observers to
Participate or do work like this? It is possible. Yeah. If I get another grant, Southeastern.
And we wanted to share the story of Evan. Yeah, funny enough.
Yes. Come on up, Evan. You were great. So we actually, Evan, why don't you tell this story?
Oh, okay. So was it Tuesday that you came to me? It was earlier this week, and they didn't know if they were gonna have a lights and sound today. So Katie came to me and asked if I could help out with lights and sound on Sunday night, which is tonight. And so I came yesterday to see how this all worked out, and she said it was all good all over here since Eric was here. Where is he? Oh, somewhere. Hello. He said he was going to be here, so I just figured I'd help out wherever I could over here. So.
And then you came
And then
story.
Oh.
And then you ideated.
Yeah, tell us about what happened last night.
Yeah, you ideated.
Oh. We're talking about, okay.
Is that
So
So
you were
wrong.
on stage with us.
Okay, now I'm
So okay, so
This is how the artists feel all week long, confused.
yeah. So you watched the show, right?
Yes.
And then I'm trying to remember. You stayed for the talk back, so beware all of you. No. you stayed for the talk back, and then had an idea about a piece.
Said that it was said your experience about what you saw.
Oh, are we going back to this part?
We
then?
are.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
We're just going all over the place right now.
Inside,
Still
outside,
yesterday.
upside down.
Oh, but still yesterday.
Yesterday.
Okay, so.
Your experience yesterday of this.
Yes.
Yes.
So I saw this and I thought, wow, this is, wow. I could not think of anything else other than wow, because it was just, I've never seen anything like this before, and I thought it was absolutely beautiful and a wonderful idea, and I told them that this is one of the best plays I've seen come out of here.
And then.
And then I had an idea about a play. Oh, the skit that I put on was, I had an idea of, well, since there was so much comedy and drama in here, if we had this little bit to just unwind if there was a dramatic point. So I had an idea of having a script of one word. So I'd be called up, say one word, and done. And then that's why I came up with the script Audition, which is the one where I came up here. And the story behind it is a lot of theater people know that if they go into an audition, they're always looking for specific things. And if your goal is to be this one part, they're probably not going to give it to you. So he's coming in here to play Hamlet and to give his speech to be or not to be. So come up here, to be, done. They don't want me.
And this idea came up yesterday when Evan was sitting in the talk back, and Katie invited him to act on it today.
To do it.
So bravery. You never know what things are brave if you are brave.
And a community member.
Yeah, and the process itself is all around you. We came together on Monday night with the theme of inside, outside, upside down, And basically, I just say to you all, go. And we start writing and writing, and then from there, distilling down and taking the big ideas into personal and more singular ideas. And from there, these pieces were born, but you guys are such creative powerhouses. We just kept on birthing and birthing and birthing more and more and more. And now I'm gonna, yeah, literally.
Surprisingly.
Yeah, surprise birth. And I'm gonna stop talking now. I'm gonna let it over to you and to you.
I want to ask a question of all of you, but yeah.
I was stretching.
Can I ask, were there moments, images, words, lines, moments that stood out to you, and what were they?
And it has to be popcorn, don't raise your hand, just tell us.
When you had this moment, and you said, when am I going to die? That you just thought that.
Oh yeah, that
was totally extemporaneous.
Yeah.
And I just like inside your brain. It's just that the fact that you just had that little.
Well, she knew what
I
the
really
next
like
page was going to be.
Yes.
That's
Yeah,
what
I understand. I got it. But the fact that you just instantly just let that go, I just good. All right. It's a little opportunity here.
Yeah.
That's when I wondered if I was the only person who wasn't understanding what was going on.
So you wondered if you were the only person who wasn't understanding what was going on.
Not for the whole thing.
Right. Peter, I'll talk to you later. I'm going to do just a one-on-one class with you on.
The answer is yes.
The answer.
Yes. Aww. If you were ever confused, raise your hand. You're not alone. We're with you.
I'll say this, when I was confused, it was just nice to trust and to see where it was going to lead. And it always led to a place that was surprising and beautiful. But it was just that sense of, all right, I don't know, I am confused, but I'm just going to go with it.
To piggyback off that, talking about moments that stood out, the scene between Laura and Katie waking up, I didn't entirely know what was going on from start, or know the scene or whatever, but there was just something that was heartbreaking about it. And I was like, I don't need to know everything.
But early on.
Yeah, just early, from like the first 5 to 10 seconds, I was like, I don't know what's happening, but it's like making me feel things.
First 8 minutes of up.
What?
The first 8 minutes of up.
Oh,
It was like that.
And I hope you don't mind the call. We called it a call in here. Stina, you're a visual artist. Do you see any parallels between that abstract art or trying to make sense of something? What's the parallel for you, or visual to?
That's kind of tricky for me because I don't even, I do art, but the first things that I think of is how can I bring this to my students?
You're a teacher.
So I'm a arts teacher here in town. I teach K-12. So that's how I'm drawing in stuff. And how can I use this to help my students? Lanesboro has never had one act play. And I just volunteered to do it. So from 7th through 12th grade, I already had 16 students sign up.
Nice.
But I have no idea what they're doing. So I need help by November.
This is
super material.
I was gonna say this is super off topic, but I actually direct one act play up where I'm from, and if you want to exchange emails, I would love to.
Yes, all
That would be
the
awesome.
Yes.
Yes. So.
And I just live on the corner down at the bottom of Church Hill. Yeah, I've been volunteering my husband Jeremy. Yes, and we have I think
cadre, a group of companions who helped you as well. Yeah.
How does this work change you going forward? When you see a piece of theater, either that you don't understand or that has so much to it, does it change you?
Yes. Makes me think a lot.
That's rough. Thinking hard.
It makes you think a lot.
Do you like thinking a lot, or are you mad at us?
I mean, it's summer break.
Or somewhere in there.
I like thinking.
Was there something specific that you remember that you're thinking about now, or that you might think about later? And if not, it's okay. I'm just wondering.
How weird the spider walked. What did she say?
How weird the spider walks.
Wait, you didn't know it was well, we said spider and fly. If it had not had a title, would you have known that it was a spider? That he was a spider? No. Good thing we had a title.
So we worked all that on the charts. We're like, okay, everything should have a title. That's what we really came to. I'm kidding. But
Does help.
Yes, Kate.
Piggybacking off of what Ayla said, I just enjoyed the physicality of the production. And it's probably because my physical powers are diminishing. It just was exciting to see how much movement and even contortions that and didn't you set the bar high, standing on your head to start with? And I don't know if you got to look in a mirror to see how ridiculous you look speaking upside down, but it was so much fun.
Yeah, and that'll be edited out of the video. Not really interested. The mirror see the paralysis with that ridge that I did with Laura. That was enough of looking into the mirror.
So there were some solemn moments,
Yes.
which was wonderful, but and it's hard to react to that because you want to clap out clap and then, but you don't really. It feels totally inappropriate. But where did you find the letter? How did you come across that letter, or did you write that letter?
Lanesboro gave it to me. I came here and I saw the flags, and I saw the general respect that this town has for folks who've given their lives or who give their lives and their dedication to the country. And it made me think that there must be many mothers in Lanesboro who are still holding on to the memories of people, and families are holding on to the memories of people who they have lost. So I wrote it during these 7 days. I have no one in the Army personally, but I have a mother who's far away. So, well, thank you. Thank you.
Was it always the idea to do them in kind of random order?
Every night has been a different show. There were pieces in tonight that were not in the last 2 nights.
Oh.
There were pieces that went completely differently tonight than the last 2 nights. Yeah. So Katie said we don't know what's going to happen, and we really don't.
Yeah.
So.
And part of that was from years past. So you come in, and those of you who have seen art before, it starts to, I don't want it to get monotonous, and so it dawned on me the way to really shake it up is to have it be unexpected, and this gorgeous group of people said, yes, we will, let's do that. The other 2 years, I curated more of the story to draw out a through line, and then I thought, well, if it's really raw, then we don't have that through line. But did themes show up for you? What themes did you hear?
When you ask, you can't think of it.
Upside down.
Upside down.
Upside down.
Upside down.
Okay.
Inside out.
Mm-hmm, inside out.
Ghosts.
Ghosts. Yeah, and I don't know where that just, I think it was Hillary doing the piece
The Creep,
with
yeah.
Creep. It was originally called Creep, and it just kept evolving. And then we brought in more of a ghost-like theme. Yeah.
Life and death, birth.
Cycle of life.
We had heard a spoiler before we did the show.
What was that?
About
And who
laughing yoga.
Okay.
And so, a little anxiety about this. It was like, I don't know. And so we decided, well, we're going to sit in the very front because you're less likely to be targeted if you're in the very front than if you're farther back.
Yeah,
that was the
you
theory.
know I'm an engineer.
But anyways, I have to
I
say
even know
that-
how long you'll live.
Oh my God.
I thought the laughing yoga was a brilliant way to begin. And it seemed to me, from what I could hear behind me, everybody got into it. And it was infectious.
Kudos, Laura.
I do the laughing yoga a lot, so that's normal. I know that any group of people, I can invite them into it and they'll do it. And, serious people can just kind of chuckle along and they'll come, no problem. What I had never done before, and for me this was the turning it upside down, was to invite you to cry and primal scream. I mean, these are
Oh
like,
my God.
because a lot of people find, laughing, raucous laughter in public, even that feels a little inappropriate if you don't do it a lot. Like, it's so normal to me. I just always forget that it's weird for people. Like, what, you don't do that every day? So that's, even the laughing is hard for a lot of people to do publicly in that way. So I know that I'm asking people to do a risk. So I was like, well, let's push it further. What about primal screaming in public? Would that work? I had no idea. So thank you. You were excellent screamers.
Well, I wanna build on that. So I'm Laura's husband, and
Congratulations, great choice.
and when she was exploring some of the concepts, because this basically what we saw play out on the stage tonight was the result of so many conversations behind the scenes, and I suppose that is how it is with most work. But part of the conversation that Laura had with me as she was preparing to sort of think about what she was trying to bring to performance was about hitting the audience at a sort of core level, just with emotions. And I looked at her and I said, I like this screaming component. I said, I haven't had a good scream in a long time. I said, we might all need that. So there's that sense in which I think that we put ourselves out there in the world, composed, well-scrubbed, presentable, and we don't get a chance in the invitation near enough to be raw. And I'm not talking about, raunchy. I'm just talking about just raw. To be sort of vulnerable, bundle of nerves, don't have all the answers, don't know where we're going to find the answers, and you gave us that opportunity to say, you know what, not only what's playing out on stage, it's a reflection of the lives we live. So I'm appreciative of being able to receive this work that you've done for us.
Thank you. As I sat here, I thought about the context, like this community, and the culture of this community. Kate understands this, many people. It is a kind of a Scandinavian, Lutheran. That's a big generalization, but that's definitely part of the culture, and the idea of feelings, emotion, expressing them. You heard about the Norwegian guy who loved his wife so much he almost told her. and
Not hear about him.
and I don't know, I just think there's some way that this, because in this place, in this space, even though there's vulnerability, it's safe because we're in this space. And it would be so interesting to think about, is there a way to bring some of this emotion, like, outside of this building.
Jerome, you said Peter impressed last night.
Well, I suppose.
Well, you did Dreammakers, so that, but you know what I mean, I mean like in this.
Yeah,
Right, yeah.
On the street.
Yeah, out there in the world where you know, there are huge emotions. They're just not, you know, you have to really look for it, it's subtle sometimes.
Raucous laughter does happen after 11:00 in Legion Hall.
After 11 o'clock in the Legion Hall, we'll meet you there.
Really? There's 7 days to find that
Well, I would challenge you to take the courage you've summoned tonight from us and risk a little bit more emotion showing in your own lives. And I know that we certainly will too, having been through this process. And if we all kind of crank our whole hearts open a little bit further, we'll have a better world and we can do it.
So on that note, let's ideate. How could we do it? How could we take this? How could we take this outside? What are your ideas? First idea, best idea. Shout it out. Or whisper it.
Spontaneity.
Crosswalk.
Spontaneity.
Crosswalk performances.
Crosswalk performances. What else?
Couldn't you do it like at even a restaurant or something?
Do it at a
Yes.
restaurant.
On top of Church Hill.
You know, like karaoke
Or,
instead of karaoke.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, instead of karaoke, do raw at the saloon.
Which one?
There's the pub, there's the saloon, there's
The
the
biggest
Legion.
challenge would be reverse.
The root, I just, I'll wait till it's a double dog. Oh, you just, she just double dog dare you.
Double dog dare.
All right, baby, don't talk. You know, even I get scared. What else?
This might be a radical idea, but how about Audacious Raw History Alive?
What? A collaboration? Weird. Totally weird. Where's Jane Peck when you need her?
She was here earlier.
Another grantee. Yes, she was. No, I know she was here. Yeah. Great support from our friends. Yeah.
I've had a little bit of experience on this stage, and I know that has translated into my daily life. I react with more of my body to what I'm hearing or seeing than I ever dreamed I would. And I think that's a way of connecting, responding, being kind of more free in your own skin and relating to people.
She started acting in 70?
70.
Yeah.
Yeah, and we worked this winter. You did some beautiful work this winter, Kay. I see.
Well, she became a pastor. That takes, but I think that everybody's got an inner, I think everybody has an inner to be a performer, but you don't have courage, you know, and people spoke about bravery. Well, kind of you showed us it's possible, you know, you could just get a little bit crazier and, you know, just have a topic and do it, you know, love it.
Yeah.
Yep, step 1, step 2, step 3. Step 1 is be a little bit crazier. Step 1.
That's only step 1.
So you're hankering for some workshops. This is what I'm hearing.
Well, that's the thing, and played across generations, because I think that there's nothing more than what that I would have appreciated as a child than to have a far-out grandparent. A grandparent that can beat you at intensity and zaniness and just sort of like the unexpected. It's like, okay, that's my goal, that's my target. I will see you there. I mean, so for those of you who have grandkids,
bring them on.
Yeah, that's exactly. Bring them on.
Nephews, the younger generation. Yeah. Gorgeous. And ask what scenes, what pieces, or do you think that you'll ruminate, or that what touched you the most?
Fresh Fruit, is that the name of that piece?
Yes.
Complete fruit, yeah.
Thank you. So seeing, while having her speech, while watching the two, and just thinking about who I am individually and being myself versus feeling the need to have the other person, so just thinking about, yeah, so that's a piece that I'm going to take away, and then also the one of with you two, seeing your start to your day, and then the facade you put on in the back of the room, and how I do that. So thinking about feeling how you feel and being okay with that. So I think those all of it was beautiful, but those two really kind of spoke to my heart. Yeah.
And just a side note, Fruta Completa was created today.
Yes.
Today.
Katie,
Like 2
Katie
o'clock.
invited us to keep thinking and ruminating in the way that we had done all week long, and she was like, okay, we're gonna set this on Thursday, we're gonna set the show on Thursday, but you can mess with the rules. So she invited us.
a bigger word than that, maybe.
Yeah.
Maybe watch your language.
She said, you can mess with the rules. And so she invited us for today's show of if there's anything that comes up, and we talked about it this morning, if there were any new pieces that have been birthed since Thursday, that we were welcome to put them in today, and that happened.
I just have a question.
Yeah,
You
that's
did
it.
this at Dreammakers. What was that audience or how did it feel to you, or was it, is that lively or last night? How has it progressed as far as just the feedback from laughter and people participating? But I want to go back to Dreammakers. What was it like up there?
Dreammakers, all right, in Wyckoff, Minnesota. What was it like up there?
There were,
Go ahead.
just the presence of more children are there. And that energy is completely different because they don't hide anything. We know right away whether something is funny or not. Or touching. In the sense of play too, I think that was their presence was a really great jumping off point for us to say, oh, we're allowed to play. Oh, we can play because they're playing. We're playing. We're all playing. And there was a really great moment during one of the pieces. It was during the book reading piece, and we brought them on stage, and they were a little shy at first, but they came out. And then we got to the point where we were all going to take a bow for the audience, but they were, I don't know if they were either nervous or confused. But they wouldn't turn,
maybe they were acting.
or maybe, yeah. But they wouldn't turn to the audience. They just, we were all holding hands and facing up stage. So Jay just decided, okay, let's just bow. Let's just bow. And so we bowed up stage. And it fit perfectly with what the theme is. And so to be open to I am used to this. I've been 3 years, but that experience of just putting it in front of an audience for the first time for us is a really brave thing to do because we don't know what to expect. We've been in here making all of this stuff, and we know how it feels for us and how it touches us, but we have no idea how it's going to be received. And so that was for me a really great moment in time to let go and release with the wind, and just let it happen.
Plus, it's so beautiful. Dreammakers is so gorgeous, and there's a creek, and you get all that nature in you. And then we were there at 2 o'clock, and the show was at 7:30 or 8. So we had and we ate so many pizzas. And then people came trickling in and to see the show, and it's really intimate. I mean, the space is hardly like this. There is no difference between the audience and the stage. They're all around us. It is a completely different visceral experience.
Got one more?
I do. So, and for those of you that have been here multiple times, in terms of flipping and changing the pattern, how did that change the energy, the intention throughout the entire arc of the piece.
Can you talk a little bit more about the pattern that you're talking about?
The random
nature of it.
Order of
There was a revelation I had last night. I do lots of moving in the show, just a little bit. But there was a revelation that I had that those, like Spider and the Fly, the bench piece, 333, Mother's Letter, and Ghostlight could all come 4 in a row.
Yes.
And so prepping for that is very nerve-wracking and also demanding. But then to see how it actually plays out is, I mean, in the moment, it's just kind of like, I'm gonna do my thing. Katie always says, be present, be here now. Accomplish the task at hand and do it raw. And actually I noticed that there was a moment tonight where we hadn't done a lot of your stuff, Jerome, and I leaned over to Jay and I was like, Jerome's gonna have that dam of blood, you know, like it's gonna dam up and he's gonna have all 4 of them in a row.
I was preparing. I felt that same exact thing. I was like, I haven't really done any of my things yet. I have to be ready. If mine are the last 3 or 4,
Yep.
I have to be ready to be able to do that. And so you're right. Yeah. This is something that was really interesting. Yeah.
And that Dream Makers, Laura, right out of the gate, bam, 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 3 pieces right in a row.
Yeah, I did the last video go straight into the I am free and then the shakedown. So it was.
And then we did paralysis quite
Shortly after that, yeah.
It's just like, woo, it's the Laura show. Yeah.
And then I think because we know where the arc of emotions are going with each of these pieces, and then the energy of the audience, which Laura sets off on a separate kind of a flow with the laugh track, so we know you're with us, and then we know which piece is being called out next. So it's almost like what is going to happen to you now? Because we just had a whole laughing, and now we're going to a serious one. So it's really, for me, it is really exciting to know what's coming up, but you don't know.
Yeah.
And you have had a ride on the previous, like everything is a new episode, on the previous episode, but this next one coming, I'm like, okay, let's see how that energy works. So for that, to witness that is really interesting. And it's really pushes the audience into uncomfortable zones of, well, this was all funny for now, but this doesn't sound that funny. But people are laughing, so I guess I will do the same thing. Oh, okay. So it's kind of like that for me. It's just to watch the audience and see how the energy is shifting with the pieces and how that.
I noticed that a little bit tonight of like, oh, we're on a laughter roller coaster, and then like knowing what's coming up, like what's gonna happen with this momentum, and that's totally decided by the audience and not by us, you know. But I a couple of days ago realized too that preparing to. No.
Hello.
Awesome.
We haven't turned on the light yet.
Right. Preparing.
Wait your turn.
Now is outside, later inside. Preparing to do the show is unlike any other type of show, because it's not like I know I have an intense physical 20 minutes on stage and I can mentally prepare for that or do what I need to do as an actor to just be ready for that, or I know I have a bunch of text coming up. The other night I was like in bed and I was like, oh, I could, or it could be spaced out. We don't know. And so like coming in to prepare for the show day by day, thinking through each piece and just being like, I'm ready for when that happens. I'm ready for when that happens. I'm ready for when that happens. And like Jay said, it really kept me in the moment in a different way than I've ever really prepared for another show.
And we were still on that question of what moment struck with you, what do you want to take back, and what are you going to ruminate on? So not to sidetrack on that. So if you still have popping answers on that, that would be great to hear. You have anything that or questions that are unanswered, or
I really like the idea of being free, even though in prison. And you don't have to be behind certain kinds of walls. I think everybody has some sort of imprisoning experience. but it doesn't have to shape who you are entirely.
I really enjoyed the physicality, the slapstick humor you were willing to do up there. That's the three bench. I'm gonna go back and watch all my old Three Stooges. But that was terrific to have a night where everyone was free to just play on the stage, do whatever you wanted to, and that was fun.
Nice. Were you guys doing like a see no evil, hear no evil, speak no evil? Was that part of
We would try. Yeah. We start doing that, and then it becomes something else, and they're like, "What is your plan?" It's not going very well.
Let's just do all.
I think there was some smell no evil in there.
Yes, there was. Yes, it was because they were grabbing everybody.
So Feel No Evil was in there too.
The avalanche still.
The avalanche.
Oh my gosh. Yeah.
And now you know when you're out in the bluff and you know exactly what to do.
Don't yodel.
Yes.
Don't sneeze.
Or sneeze.
Right.
Yeah, no, go ahead, Quinn, and
The
then that'll be our last one. Our actors will need a break soon.
Yes.
Bring it.
No, it's okay.
They do too. Yeah.
It's okay.
No, you must do it. Yes, yes,
It was
yes.
only the silly versus serious one, and we were back and forth. I was just wondering that was one that I was curious about, and
Would you
also
like to see the other?
yeah.
Yes.
Wait.
Beach window.
The beach window.
Oh, beach window.
Yeah. Off you go. Off script. You can do it.
Ding! Beach window.
Let's see. All right. So we did silly.
Yes, you did silly.
So they get
Well,
serious. Let's see what
I asked for seriously silly.
Oh. Does she exist?
Yes.
Congratulations. That's hard these days.
Oh, there she goes.
Oh.
Walking.
I remember walking. Do you?
It was wonderful.